I'm Fiona May. I am from Women on Transition, and I'm here today to talk to you about how you are one call away from finding the love of your life. Now, you might not believe that because, you might have thought that finding love again is going to be really hard after your separation and divorce. And look, if you're there, I absolutely understand that, because that's exactly where I was as well. And I didn't know what the hell I was doing when I got divorced and when I started to date. So let's jump in and have a look at some of the things that a lot of the ladies experience and how we can help you get through this transitional journey. So, we believe that there is help out there. There's help out there to show us the way, people that have gone before us. And, this presentation is for midlife women ready to embrace the future. And if you want love and happiness, we want to tell you that it's absolutely possible. So we're going to explore how to unlock the power of the human connection and discover the love that you truly deserve, because we think that everybody deserves to be loved, and I think it's a natural and normal phenomenon within us as human beings to want to be in connection and want to have a partner. Now, I know for some of you that it's definitely off the cards, and your belief system about love and romance and being nurtured and respected, and that your experience from the past might say that that's not possible, and you might even be making up stories about to justify those beliefs, about maybe saying things like, there's no good men out there, or all men are ... And I understand that. I totally get it. I mean, when you've been hurt, it's natural and normal to want to protect yourself. And for a lot of ladies, the reality is they won't date. The reality is that they're not going to find love again. And, if that's where you are, that's totally fine. Who I'm going to talk to today is the women who want to find love, who want to have a partner. You might not know how to go about that, or you might have tried and you might have not been successful, or you might just be thinking that it's one day, someday in the future, I would like it if it happened, but maybe, I just got to wait for someone to come and find me. And I want to talk all about those things today because they're all relevant. And, there's no right or wrong here, ladies. We're not here to say that this is what you need to do or you don't need to do. What we want to do is give you tools and skills so wherever you're at, you can make healthy decisions that give you the life that you truly want to be living. And we don't want you to be listening to the people around you and for you to be making decisions based on what you think is, your friends are saying, or what your current experience is, or what you think is possible right now. Because we know that, expanding your mind, opening yourself up, learning new tools and skills, that's going to make the difference in your life. And I'll tell you something later that's really quite exciting, because I've had a week of talking to single men in their 50s and 60s this week, and I've got some really interesting insights from the male point of view. So let's jump in and have a look at what we're going to really discuss today. So the power of human connection. It's powerful. Our social connections are our greatest source of strength and resilience. And when we nurture these connections, we create a foundation of love, joy, and belonging. So, like I said, we, as humans, we have an innate ability to want to connect. And so, if we've been hurt and we don't want to go back into a relationship, I think it's only natural for us to have a sense of loss in one way or another, that we sometimes don't feel whole and complete if we, don't have everything in our life that we want. And sometimes when we've been hurt, it's easy to say, I'm just not going to go there. I'm not going to take that risk. I'm not going to put myself in a position that I might get hurt again. And, we understand that. It's very real. And for a lot of ladies, love hasn't been kind to them. It hasn't worked out the way they wanted it to be. And, what we want to say is that we can learn different ways of being able to move forward. It is a transformative experience and it is a transitional journey. So connecting with others who heal old wounds and open doors to new possibilities, that is exciting and beautiful to be in that situation. And it allows us to share our experiences and build trust and create lasting bonds. And, you know, we connect with people when we really get to know them. And the difference between a intimate relationship and the difference between a intimate relationship where you've got a lover and you've got a friendship with like a girlfriend or could be a male friend, but you're just platonic. The only difference is where you cross over that line and it becomes an intimate conversation or an intimate relationship, and that means into you I see, you know, so it's going beyond the superficial, it's going into the soul, it's going into each other. And that's what the masculine and the feminine is, and it's what the, you know, the male has the he goes into the female, and that's the connection, and that's what intimacy is supposed to be. For a lot of ladies, they don't have that beautiful connotation around intimacy, and they might not have even, you know what that feels like or experienced it. And, you know, none of that's your fault, ladies. It's just your current experience. And we want to see if, you know, that's where you want to stay or if we want to push the boundaries on that. So the role of technology in modern dating. So, you know, for many people, midlife women coming out of a separation or a divorce, things have changed dramatically from when we were younger and from when we used to date in our 20s and, you know, early 30s maybe. For me, I was very young. You know, I wasn't even 20 when I got into and got married and, you know, was in my first and only real relationship. And so things have changed, the way we connect, our financial situations, the you know, the roles that we play, all of these things have changed dramatically. So we've got to learn the role of technology and how it affects the modern dating scene. So I believe that online dating and technology, you know, it's transformed dating and it offers us a wider pool of potential partners. And it gives us the ability to connect with people that we never would have connected with otherwise. So from that point of view, it's amazing. You know, it opens up new possibilities for us that never would have been an option for us had we not, you know, explored technology and online dating. So I know I only met Paul, my partner. We've been together and engaged. We've been together 8 years, engaged 4 years. And I would never have met Paul had it not been for online dating. And, you know, so many people, so many of the ladies I coach, even my kids, you know, most people these days do meet online. And I always say to the ladies that I'm coaching that online just gives you the ability to meet more people. You still need to know what to do when you meet those people and be confident in the decisions that you're making. So, you know, we can put our head in the sand and not want to, you know, jump into the dating apps and get on websites. And, you know, that's a choice. We can do that. And but, you know, I think it gives us a wonderful opportunity. And I think if we embrace the change, we actually have a set of powerful tools for finding love. But, you know, with those tools, you do need to know what you're doing. You do need to have a plan, and you need to be very cautious and selective, because there's not a week goes by that we don't hear about women who have been scammed by online predators. And that's what I'm going to call them, because that's what they are. They're not good people. And they, you know, they're out there taking advantage of vulnerable women who are looking for love. And I want you to not be in that situation. I want you to educate yourself and for you to actually properly prepare for love, because that is what's going to set you apart. So one of the things that really hurt people and the reason they don't want to keep dating is they often fear rejection. And, you know, when you do fear rejection, when it happens to you, it feels like a knife to the heart. And it really can be extremely debilitating to be rejected. So that fear is the thing that holds most people back from enjoying the process of dating. And instead of seeing it as a means to an end and a game, and, you know, you being confident and using it as a tool, a lot of people put their foot in the water. They, you know, might meet a few people, they might get, you know, not be the experience they want. And then very quickly they can get hurt, and then they get jaded. And then they use their fear as the reason that they don't want to date again. And, you know, to me, that's really sad. I don't ever want you to allow your fears to run your life, because if you allow your fears to start controlling you, they just take over everything and they just become bigger and bigger and bigger. And your fears stop you from living the life that you truly want to live. So fear is normal. You've got to know that. It's natural to feel a little bit scared when you're putting yourself out there, but don't let the fear hold you back from finding love. I want you to focus on what your end goal is. And, you know, when that fear pops up, I want you to reframe it. And, you know, every time, you know, you have an encounter, see it as a chance to learn and grow, regardless of the outcome. I think one of the best bits of advice I can give you is don't be connected or don't be committed to the outcome of a situation when you start dating. I want you to go out there and use it as an opportunity to meet new people, to make new friends, to experience things that you haven't experienced before. And that's how I stepped out when I decided that I wanted to date. And I met some beautiful men, different men than, you know, than I ever would have met previously and that I'd ever had in my life previously. And I had met different friends, and even though we decided that, you know, relationship wasn't what we want, we had friendship. And so I had one guy that I used to go to the shows and the, you know, live theatre and cabarets and things like that with, because that was his thing. I had another guy who loved bands and music and, you know, that sort of, you know, Sunday afternoon sessions and things like that. And then I had another guy who just loved walking, and, you know, we used to spend a lot of time just walking on the beach and going along the foreshore. And so when I met Paul, you know, he was, like I said, I wouldn't have met him if it wasn't for the internet, because he wasn't even on my radar, where he lived or anything. He popped up one day and it was quite accidental. But, you know, I really liked who he was and I got to know him. And the more I got to know him, the more I liked him. And that was the attitude that I went into dating with. I wasn't needy. I wasn't desperate. If it didn't work, it didn't work. You know, I didn't come from scarcity. I came from abundance. I know in my heart then, and I would know again now, if I wanted to start dating, it's not who I'm going to meet, or when I'm going to meet him. It's actually just, you know, where that's all going to happen, because I know that there's 100,000, you know, whatever million men out there that I could be in a relationship with and I could have a beautiful life with. And so much of that isn't about you know, the person that you choose. It's about how you choose yourself and how you make decisions and how you think about things. And so, you know, there's lots of people out there you could love. The one that you want to find is the person who also wants to be in a relationship and love you. And you can't make people do things that they don't want to do. So being sad over someone who doesn't want to be in a relationship with you is, when you think about that, it's really dumb. You know, we've got to give up that, because that's coming from scarcity. And when we do that, the reason we suffer is because we don't accept reality. If we accept reality that that person doesn't want to be with us, and we don't make it mean anything about us, that there's something wrong with us, because there might not be. There's, you know, it's good possibility that that person is just making a decision that suits that person. And it's got, you know, a lot of the time it's got nothing to do with who we are as a person. It's just that either our time is finished, that, you know, things have changed, both of us have changed, they've changed, whatever it is, you know, we can't fight reality, and we suffer when we try. If you just accept things, it is what it is. He's gone his own way. I've gone my own way. I love you, but I'm not in love with you. I mean, that's such an interesting statement when you think about it. I know it hurts like hell when you hear it, but when you think about it, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. So, you know, you can love somebody without being in love with them. And, you know, when people say that, it's their truth. And we can't fight their truth, because then we're trying to manipulate and control someone to doing something that they don't want to do. And most of the time, people are trying to do the right thing. They're trying to tell you how they feel. And sometimes we fight that because we don't want to hear what people have to say. So that's why we get hurt a lot of the time, you know, when we're going through relationship loss. So let's think about and have a look at the benefits of taking a chance, because how amazing would it be if you found an amazing partner that you totally loved and who got you, and that you had each other's back and you were partners in crime. And, you know, I want you to sit in that place and have a think for a minute how amazing that connection would feel, because, you know, to be connected with someone and to bring a healthy person into your already good life, it often feels like it's the, you know, the bow on top of the present. You know, you can have an amazing life, but having a partner to share it with is that extra special thing. And I believe it is totally possible. And I've helped hundreds, literally hundreds of ladies get into beautiful relationships. And these are relationships like they've never had before. And it's good for them. It's good for their kids. It's good for their community. And, you know, it's good for us as a society to see women stepping into their power, taking control of their emotions, being able to regulate the way they feel, and to positively step out and create a beautiful life for themselves. And just because you go through separation and divorce, I don't want you to allow that to define you. You know, there's a huge percentage of the population who are going to, if they haven't already, gone through a relationship loss. So it doesn't mean anything bad about you, but where I want you to be powerful is for you to not allow that to stop you living the life that you want to live. So I want you to get out there and be powerful and strong and learn what you need to learn to be able to have the life, attract the person, have the romance, you know, we can have it all. That's the thing. We don't have to settle. And, you know, when I hear ladies say, you know, I'm 60 and nobody's going to want me and I'm just going to live with my dogs and, you know, and lonely, but, you know, I fill my life with my grandkids and I fill my life with my friends. But what I always say to them, if I could give you an amazing man and you have a beautiful relationship, would you want it? And, you know, that's an interesting question, because when I ask them, 100% is of course I would love that. And I say, well, if you really would love that, why don't you give yourself the opportunity to get it? You know, there's some real benefits in taking a chance. So the first thing I would suggest is that you go out looking for friends, and you look for people that you know, that interest you, that stretch your mind, that, you know, teach you different things. And one of those people are going to become someone you want to spend more time with and more time with and more time with. And, you know, you don't have to go into a relationship, you know, looking and thinking, is this the one? Is this the one? Is this the one? Because that's what so many women do wrong. You know, so many women they get into a relationship, and within a week or two, they're trying to read the bloke's mind. They're trying to ask him. They're trying to quiz him all the time. You know, am I the one for you? Where are we going? Am I wasting my time? And when you start putting that pressure on men, they hate it. That's not the masculine energy. The masculine loves freedom. They like to be able to choose if this is for them without having that pressure on them. So, you know, if you find yourself coming across being needy or insecure or wondering all the time, overthinking things in your head, then that just gives you a bit of an indication that you can, you know, there's some work that you can do on getting to a place that when you go into a relationship, you want to be feeling whole and complete. You want to know what you bring to the transaction, and you want to be able to lean back into that so you can allow the masculine to, you know, find his way in the relationship without feeling pressured. Because the minute you start pressuring them and the minute you start cornering them, then they're going to back away. And that's why, you know, a lot of men ghost, because they don't want to upset you, they don't want to hurt you, but they don't want to be in the relationship with you if they're feeling cornered. The second thing that's worth taking a chance on is the growth that you're going to experience, because there is nothing like being in a relationship to actually test how emotionally mature you are and how you've been able to process your past. Because if you're not complete and you haven't processed your past, you're going to get triggered all the time. Things are going to come up and they're going to, you know, feel like the wound of your past hurt is very raw. And if you feel like that, then that means that there's some processing there that you haven't done. So stepping outside of your comfort zone is going to expand your horizons and help you discover new sides of yourself. And that's what a new relationship will do. So it will be challenging, but it will be exciting, and you'll either grow through it or you will hate every minute of it. And but if you're hating every minute of it, it just means that you're too raw and that there's some work that you can do. So the third thing that you will find if you take a chance and if you are successful in love is being in a beautiful, loving, committed, wonderful relationship. And there's nothing like love. You know, taking the first steps can open the door to finding the love of your life. And I truly believe that, you know, the love of all of our life is out there, and it's not one person. I don't believe that there's one person for us. I believe that there's hundreds of people for us, and that we can have a beautiful relationship with lots and lots of different people. Sometimes I wish that I could have 3 or 4 or 5 lives, so, you know, I could make different decisions and that I could go down a different channel. And I just think that'd be super exciting, because, you know, making one decision can often, it's like that sliding door moment, you know, like you miss an opportunity or one different decision changes your whole life. And to me, that's super exciting. And, you know, we've just got so many possibilities in front of us and opportunities where we can actually step into creating something amazing for ourselves. So, you know, we have lots of real life success stories, and many women in their midlife find love again after challenging experiences from their past. Their stories inspire hope and show that it's never too late to find love. We have ladies in their 50s, 60s, 70s finding love. And like I said, these relationships are relationships that they've never had before. More connected, more beautiful, more authentic, more real, you know, and you as a human being are at that unique time in your life and stage in your life where, you know, you can be more of who you really are. A lot of the pretense goes as you get into a healthy relationship at this age, and you can really snuggle in and get, really have a beautiful level of intimacy and acceptance and warmth with your partner. And that's certainly, those stronger bonds is what we, encourage people to develop. And I think that does come with maturity and life experiences. And these relationships often possess a depth and understanding that can't be found elsewhere. I really believe that at our age, having relationships, we come with those life experiences. And I know for myself, I feel really grateful that I have the partner that I have. And, I've learned a lot about myself. I'm a different person now than what I used to be in relationship. I used to be very controlling, very driven, very want everything my way, because I got used to making all the decisions, and I didn't have, that strong masculine next to me helping me and us navigating the way together. I felt like I needed to do everything. And I realized in my last relationship, the more I did, the more I was allowed to or left to do. And so I overcompensated, other people undercompensate. And so that's something that I didn't want this time. Even though I'm smart, I'm successful, I'm articulate, I'm a, businesswoman, I wanted to come home at night time to a man who would look after me, would love me, would protect me. And that's exactly what I wanted for this relationship. And it's exactly what I got. But to have that relationship, I need to check myself. I can't be the person at home who I am in the boardroom. And that's a choice. I'm not saying that you can't do it. I'm just saying, if you want a healthy relationship with a masculine man who's in his masculine energy, it's not going to work if you're going to be in your masculine energy, because you don't create polarity when you are both in your same energy. So two masculine energies are actually going to, they're going to butt up against each other. They're going to be competitive. They're going to, going to have more conflict. Whereas two feminine energies, they're going to be, they could even be nurturing, giving, loving, but, you're not going to find that you've got that solid strength there that, when you really need them, that they step up for you. That's not really how that energy happens. It's more like you feel like you're left holding the relationship and dealing with all the situations on your own. You don't feel like you've got that support there. And that's not what I wanted the second time around. So, but to want it and to think that you deserve it in your relationship, you actually got to understand it, and you've got to be the reciprocal person in that relationship. So, when you come to the relationship to give rather than to take, and if both of you are doing that, then you're there and you're honoring and serving each other. And that's where you get that beautiful connection. Healthy relationships are where you both are committed and respect each other. There's no real nastiness, arguing, fighting, tearing each other down, disrespectful speak. That doesn't have a place in a healthy relationship. And, one of the things that we really learn is that a lot of ladies don't even know what healthy relationships look like, because they've never actually seen it modeled and they've never actually been in one. And it's why we spend a lot of time showing the ladies what it actually looks like and who they need to be, and what a partner's going to look like, and what behaviors are healthy and which behaviors are unhealthy, because it's very confusing when you first start to look for love if you want it to look like something different to what you've experienced it in the past, because your past patterns from when you're a little girl, what you experienced and saw of the humans around you and the relationships they have, you subconsciously have a big drive happening within you to recreate those same relationships. And very often they're dysfunctional relationships. They're not the healthy bonds that you want to be creating. So for you to break that cycle, and it is a systemic cycle that's handed down from generation to generation, you've actually got to grow beyond it, and you've got to understand it so you can create something different. It is absolutely possible, but love is got the power. We have lots of love stories that demonstrate the transformative power of love, and this reminds us of what's possible, and we can find our happiness and our joy at any stage of life. So we're not too old to do this work now, and we're certainly not too old to find a beautiful partner who wants the same love and the same commitment and the story that, the happy ever after story. They could also be looking for that. So don't underestimate, and don't think for a minute that men aren't the same as women and what they actually want in a relationship, because it is absolutely possible that the men that you are dating, they want the same things as you. And yet, very often we don't think of men wanting what we want, but it's, it's only because very often they haven't been given the opportunity to have it either. So a few practical tips for making that first call is be authentic. Like I said, you've got to be yourself. You've got to be able to share your passions, your interests, and your experiences with honesty and sincerity. You want to start a conversation. When you start dating, you need to be able to articulate and speak up and, think about questions to get to know the other person. Don't make the other person feel like that you're cross-examining them or, you're interrogating them. You want to come from a soft place, a feminine place of being genuinely interested in their life and how they've navigated things and, what their experiences are. When you're getting to know someone and when you might be online or you might be have met someone, I want you to feel a connection before you go any further. So you want to be texting until you feel comfortable to jump on the phone. And then you want to be talking on the phone until you feel comfortable to meet in person. And then I want you to meet in person only if that person up to date has given you clear indications, tick, 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 tick. If you're getting red flag, red flag, red flag, don't even waste your time in going and meeting them in person. And, it's important that you have a system for when you are dating, or else you're going to wear yourself out, you get exhausted, and then you get jaded. And so we see so many ladies coming and going onto the dating sites, and they come on, they put a new profile up, they go on a few dates, it doesn't work out, then they rip off their profile again. And, it's not the way to actually get the right result or the best result. You've got to have a clearer goal, you've got to have a good strategy, and then you've got to follow that strategy, because dating is a numbers game. And what we see all the time is that, good guys they come onto the sites, they have a look around, they will have a few interactions. A lot of them will be snapped up fairly quickly. And the other guys, if they are not getting, they might not have put good photos up, or they might not have written a good profile, they then feel like they get overlooked. So I want to tell you about what I've been doing this week is I've been interviewing guys to meet our ladies in our Reset Your Life and Shine program. Part of the program, the 12-month program that we run, we actually help the ladies with their dating profiles, their photos. We teach them all about dating and how to get out there, how to attract the right person, how to have a wonderful relationship. And part of that is we actually set up this dating night where we bring all the girls together and these whole group of men. And so this week I've been interviewing the guys, and it's just so lovely and refreshing to know there's amazing men out there. And truth is that a lot of these guys are not currently on any website, and they don't really like online dating. However, they know that, they for them to get a partner and for them to meet people, that is the avenue that in one way or another that they need to explore. But most of them are not comfortable with that or haven't had great experiences. So a lot of these guys, the good guys, are at home with their grandkids, with their kids, with their sports, with their interests, and they're not focused on just finding a woman, although they would love a woman in their life. So puts us in a bit of a challenging situation, doesn't it? It means that we need to be confident. We need to be knowing what we want, and then we have to have the ability to go out there and create those conversations, suggest that we meet up, be authentic in the way that we connect. We can't be waiting, hoping and praying that Prince Charming is coming down and going to find us. The only person who comes down chimneys is Father Christmas, and I don't want you waiting because those days have way gone. We are not 20 and 30, and we are not going to have men chasing us to find us so that we can go on a date with them. We've got to be proactive, and we've got to step up and put some effort in if you want to actually attract a man. And that's probably my most important advice I can give you, is that, when you're proactive, you're going to have a much better chance of meeting someone than just, hoping that they're going to find you. Part of, us being able to grow is embracing our vulnerability and finding true love. So vulnerability is strength. Be open to sharing your feelings and your experiences, allowing others to see who you really are. I don't want you to have your walls up and be guarded, because then that's very hard to allow someone to love you. Often women have this attitude that men have got to prove themselves to me for me to trust them and for me to open up to them. You're setting yourself up for failure, and you're sabotaging your success. That's not going to happen. If you can't show up being vulnerable, open, loving yourself, and not afraid of rejection, then, it's going to be very hard for you to connect with people. You need to open your heart. By being vulnerable, you create space for genuine connection and lasting love. If you're not opening your heart, then, men have a masculine drive to want to add to your life and to make you happy. And if they don't see that they can contribute to your life, then there's no point them really even trying. The third thing is the rewards are worth it. Trust the journey, embrace your vulnerability, and let yourself fall in love. That's so important. You can't hold yourself back and just hope, wish, and pray that, it's going to come and find you. I want you to be prepared to let your walls down and for you to welcome love into your life. And there's nothing like it. I just love being in a beautiful relationship. And I encourage people, if in the heart of hearts you want to be in a relationship, then do not sell out on yourself, and don't give that thought away that it's impossible for you. I know that it's absolutely possible for you. So, if you want to have a chat to us and we can go through your current situation, see where you are, see what you're struggling with and what you've been through, we'll easily be able to identify the obstacles that are holding you back and be able to share some light with you as to the things that you need to work on to be able to bring, the clarity into your situation and show you how you can create the life that you truly want. So you can have a free call with us. We do make these available with one of our divorce recovery coaches. So there's a link we'll pop underneath this call, underneath this video, and you can book a call with one of our divorce recovery coaches. And we also do have 3-day divorce recovery workshops. We run in all the states of Australia, just about, and we've got events coming up in Melbourne, Brisbane and Perth, and then we've got Sydney and Brisbane and Melbourne again in the later part of the year, and we're also in the middle part of the year heading off to the US. So regardless of where you are, reach out to us and we'll be able to help you one way or the other. And overall, I just want you to know that you are worthy, you are beautiful, you are strong, you are smart. And for you not to share your life with someone, if you want to be in a beautiful relationship, that is such a loss that you're holding back from someone. Because if you want to be in a beautiful relationship, I can guarantee you that you will be a beautiful partner. And, you know, having that love, that waking up to that every day is it's priceless. And I know that, you know, that's what I want you to have if that's what you want. So wherever you're at, just trust yourself, make decisions, rise above your hurt and grow beyond your pain. And you can do this, ladies. Love to you. Have an awesome week. Bye for now.